I've seen so many people that I grew up with, you know, like a lot of my friends, I've just seen their lives totally fall apart. And sometimes it's for different reasons, but there's a lot of similarities. I think number one, I'm gonna have to go with drugs. Whenever I was like maybe 14, 13, it's whenever I started smoking weed, and so did all of my friends. But around 16, 17, that's when I had the most amount of friends. We had a very large friend group. We probably, it was like 15 or so people. And everybody was drinking, smoking weed, doing this and doing that. And it really just kind of, we would, always get high together or take this together or do that. But some people, that became all they were looking for. So, if somebody came to hang out, they were just looking to get high and they weren't looking to do anything else. And it just kind of tarnished the time that all of us had together. And it wasn't good quality time. It wasn't a good nurturing or productive time. It was just spent sitting around getting high. It would have been cool if you could do that and go do things and be productive with your life. But the truth is you just can't. There's a balance to everything, and you just can't. And you don't want to follow your friends. You don't want to look around and tell yourself that that's normal or that that's okay, or you're just having fun because all your friends are doing it. You really, really don't want to do that. You want to think for yourself and listen to the things in your head and pay attention to the things you're seeing and notice signs. Look at the people who aren't doing that, who are focused, who, play sports, who do this, who focus on school, who have big dreams ahead of them. Just think about those people. And there's things, you learn that those people don't learn when you're around environments like that are important to learn and to know. And the different kinds of things that these drugs can give you. I had experiences with psychedelics and a lot of weed when I was really young. I wasn't much of a drinker, drinking alcohol, although that is one of the worst things. Weed it's sort of like a really silent, slow killer, and sort of alcohol is too, because it's so normal. But I'm 20 now, and when I'm almost 21, and when you get to this age and people are still doing those things, you look back and you think how those times affected them and how those times affected you, and how those choices just lead you into your future. And if you don't stop, if you don't become conscious and aware of what's going on in your life, and if you don't start making choices for yourself, or you start listening to and you don't listen to what's in your head or maybe what other people are trying to tell you, shit's just gonna fall apart. And I've seen so many of my friends just fall apart. And it can be drugs, it can be relationships, especially, if you're a young guy, you'll see a lot of guys, they get destroyed by relationships, like romantic relationships and whatnot. And sometimes it's just bad choices. It could be neither of those things, and it's just bad choices. It's okay to make bad choices, right? It's okay, but it's the tale as old as time. You got to learn from your mistakes. And some people, they're ignorant, they're arrogant towards themselves and towards other people. They don't want to learn from their mistakes, and they don't want to listen to what people are telling them. And hopefully you have one or two friends that are going to be honest with you and tell you how it is. And if you do have one of those friends at around that age or my age, you're going to be the black sheep. You're going to be the outcast. You're going to be the person that people say is an asshole or this or that or whatever. You're not cool. You're lame, this or that. But it's really important to be honest with your friends. And if you have a friend that's doing good, that's doing good things, that's moving on with their life, and listen to them, ask them what they're doing. Don't just follow your friends blindly, especially even when you're 15 or 16. It's really easy to just, it feels like life is just your friends, is your social group, the girls, the this, the that. But when you get to this age, you're going to look back and think there were a lot of things that you could have done differently. And it's hard listening to adults. It's hard listening to people that say that try to guide you, because you know, you don't know yet, and it's not your fault. And the sooner you can start paying attention and looking at things, the better, because you know, at some point you'll be 20, you'll be in your 20s, and then you'll realize the certain behaviors that get people into bad positions in their life, really, really bad positions. And you don't want to be that. You know, you want to start as early as you can, and you can still have fun. You know, you can still be around those people, because, you know, a lot of your close friends, they are going to have issues in their lives, and some of them, they're going to go down a wrong road, and you still love them, and you can still be with them. But you need to also prioritize yourself. And through doing that, you know, your other friends, they'll pay attention, they'll notice, and they'll follow by you being a role model. And like, speaking for myself, like, I hit a point with like my friends where I just started to feel like it just wasn't something I wanted to be around. The drugs, just the certain attitudes, the behavior, the mindset. I just felt like I grew out of a lot of my friends. But I've seen people, you know, become alcoholics, become drug addicts, destroy relationships, have terrible relationships, make terrible choices. And, you know, if you're a young person, if you're a young girl or a young guy, I want you to know that you should listen to yourself. That's just the biggest thing. I want you to listen to yourself. I don't want you to follow what other people are doing. Do what's good for you, because you're going to lose time, you know, and you're going to lose emotions and feelings that you had for people. And sometimes, well, I mean, if you have a big friend group and you think all of these people are here for you and they have your back, they're not. Most of them are not. Maybe one or two. You're lucky to have people that really do have your back, because a lot of those people, they'll stab you in the back, they'll lie to you, they'll hurt you, you know, sometimes even unintentionally, just by being the way they are and their poor choices. And there's an extreme end of this spectrum where you know, your friends make terrible choices. You get into a car with your friend that was drinking and they're driving, and all of a sudden you're in a car with somebody who killed somebody, or they killed you, or they killed their friends, or they got killed. I mean, there's just so many opportunities for you to really mess up your life. And if you don't recognize these bad behaviors, and you don't decide to make a change in your life, you're going to keep going, and you're going to keep making things worse and worse. And look, if your friend group, if you're around an environment and your friends are the type that do drugs and hang out all the time and I hate saying that, like, it makes, you know what I mean? It's like, it sounds like a bad thing. I personally, at my time, like, we would get high, but we would still, sometimes, you know, we would still go do stuff. We would hang out. We were all close. You know, we all relied on each other for community. But yeah, just pay attention, just watch, and just realize you're going to be 20 at some point. You're going to be in your 20s. You're going to have a life. You're going to have to have money. You're going to have to be healthy. And I just want you guys, I wish I had somebody like myself, you know, in my life during that time to tell me what to do. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope this hopefully helps somebody. Yeah.